Lounge on 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone app, and 1620thezone.com. When 6A to 6P isn't enough, the boys have you covered. Here's Jimmy Allen
and John Schreiner.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome inside the After Hours Lounge brought to you by Bellevue University. Keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus tonight. Jimmy Allen, John Schreiner, Dan Campinen with you. John is at home. Dan and I are actually loyal enough to show up to work, unlike that slacker John Schreiner. We do have a great show lined up for you tonight, though, however, despite John 7:30. We'll talk about the Nebraska coaching staff / players that spoke in Lincoln yesterday. John Butler spoke to the media, and I was really intrigued by a lot of what he had to say. I'm interested to get your thoughts, John. And there's been a development, and the Nico Iamaleava, or however you pronounce it, case.
Iamaleava.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. He's headed to UCLA. And what does that mean for Tennessee? Urban Meyer does not think it's a good thing for the Vols and the SEC as a whole. And Bob Williams is going to come in and tell Dan Campinen that he needs to stop talking to people and throwing things at them at the same time at 7:15. It is the Wing Wednesday, which means our good friend Derek Richards from Cunningham's Pub is here, and he has brought all of the fixins with him tonight. We have two different burgers. The jalapeno popper burger, which I have in my hand on display here, is one of the items that was brought in tonight. Derek, this is a new item on the menu, correct?
Yeah, we just added that not long ago, a few months ago.
What is all on it?
So we've got cheddar cheese, bacon, candied jalapenos, and then a sweetened cream cheese, like whipped cream cheese on there.
Dan Campinen, you've eaten half of this today. I am about to dig into it. John, you were missing out on this, but it is brought with sweet. It is brought with sweet potato fries. How popular are sweet potato fries in Omaha?
Well, they're very popular at Cunningham.
Okay.
I think it just depends on the ones you get. So ours are a little crispier.
Yeah, that thing doesn't stand up. I forgot to tell you that. He's sitting in your seat, John. He's sitting in your seat.
I feel very professional right now, like I'm on payroll. You know, like
we'll have to get you there. We'll have to get you there.
But no, the sweet potato fries they're popular. We sell quite a few of them. I'd say it's probably 25% of our appetizer are like our side sales.
Really,
sweet potato fries.
It is a Wing Wednesday, though. Do we have any new flavors in the hopper for the wings? I know you're always back there cooking something up.
We have some. We have a couple new ones, and then we're gonna change up one of our long-standing ones just to mix it up a little bit.
Are people worried? Is that the word in the street?
No one should be worried.
Okay,
they will. I mean, when we change it, people are going to be mad.
Sure.
But then they're going to eat it, and they'll be like, "Okay, this is cool." And we're actually working on fried chicken right now. So, I'm very happy with our fried chicken.
Is it because Kentucky Fried Chicken moved out of the state of Kentucky, and you're not going to stand for it?
Yeah. No, I'm a Popeyes guy. It's right by the house. I love it. But no, our chicken is really crispy already, like our chicken tenders and everything.
Agreed.
But I just feel like we can continue to improve. So we have been eating a lot of fried chicken. And by we, I mean me and my kitchen manager, Chef Jose. I'm tired of fried chicken.
Derek has headphones on, John, so he can hear you, by the way.
Yeah, I can see that. Derek, I'm interested in this jalapeno popper burger. I know it's something that I've seen on menus around town, or just in various places before. Why did you guys decide to do this, and where did it come from? Who came up with it?
So I was working on just mixing up. So jalapenos seasonally, they can be a little hotter or a little less hot, and we've always pickled our own jalapenos in house instead of we used fresh. And then people are a little leery about them being too spicy, so we started messing around. I saw some random guy on YouTube or something making candied jalapenos. I'm like, I'm gonna try these, and we made the jalapenos, really liked them, and then it was like, okay, so what do we use these on? And
everything is the answer, by the way.
Honestly, it did. There was a moment where they were ending up on a lot of sandwiches, and I'm like, we should just pick one for now, and it's the jalapeno popper burger.
How difficult is it to make your own jalapeno, to pickle them? How long does that process usually take?
Oh, like 24 hours.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah, and like these, I mean, quick pickling is where it's at.
See, my sister gave us a jar of it, and she made it sound like she was slaving over a stove for 4 years when she gave it to us. Now I know what to tell her.
So I love these jalapenos, and I'm not going to give any secrets away, but it literally takes like 20 minutes, and then you just let them sit, and you're ready to rock and roll.
You're wearing a monolithic hat tonight. Do we have a tap takeover in the works coming down the pipe that we could talk about?
We're going to have something coming up with Cross Train, and then we'll do monolithic probably later in the fall.
For anybody that's tuning in for the first time tonight, I don't know where you've been, but B, can you tell people what the tap takeovers are and how they can participate?
Come in, drink beer, and you're in.
This is what we call the perfect win-win scenario, folks.
We try to keep things, well, just for myself, it has to be very simple so I can remember how to do it. So
we got
beer is one of the common ingredients.
We got, speaking of which, you can drink beer at the Blackstone District and get there with an easy access now because the parking garage right across the street is open.
Yes.
You guys have got a great setup inside of Cunningham's with a lot of room in there. Last time I was in there, both of the garage doors at the front were open.
Yeah.
Are there any summer events coming up at the Blackstone District? That
Actually, the Blackstone District in general just has stuff going on. They just did an outdoor market, like fair type thing,
like a farmer's market.
Yeah, it was kind of. They just had a bunch of different vendors, so they just had a lot of different vendors down there. So there's always something going on, and the fact that they got the garage done, I just booked. We've got 2 party rooms down there. We just booked both. I just booked 2 parties today, and the parking garage has been a huge benefit. That was one of the biggest complaints that we,
And here's the thing: that might be the nicest parking garage in Omaha. Like I drove into that thing the other day. I was like, "Oh, this is why it took this long to get done." Okay.
It doesn't look like a parking garage.
Yeah.
It looks like the way they finished it looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the way where it's positioned in Blackstone, you're kind of like in the middle of the strip, so you can go whichever
and conveniently
way
5 minutes away from Cunningham's front door.
Oh, I think you could walk that in like a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, you could probably moonwalk into it if you want to.
But no, it's been great. So we're happy that's open. But yeah, it's Blackstone. They are working very hard to get people just things to do in that area. So it's been good.
Derek, talking about pickling the jalapenos and making them yourself, it reminded me of a question I've been meaning to ask you for a while. Just about how you guys make so many of your sauces and all that stuff in-house, and they're originals to you. And I just wonder how you balance that with ease of production versus tasting how you want it to, and why you guys choose to do so many of your own things in-house.
Well, that started when we first opened. I have a history in the restaurant industry. I went to culinary school in '98, and then every restaurant I worked in, it was kind of frowned upon to just buy a can or open a bottle of sauce. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it definitely, and they've come up with a lot of products that are really good. We actually get in. We use one of our barbecue sauces. Comes in. It's a Korean barbecue. We actually use somebody's product for that, and it's like we could make one, but that one's so good. But it just over my culinary experience, it was always like you make your own sauces in house. And stuff like our beer cheese that we make in house, I don't feel like there's a product in a can that really compares to like homemade sauces, especially like cream based sauces like that. Same thing with our soups. We like making all the soups in house. It is difficult to balance. Thankfully, we've had a lot of the same people in our kitchen for years. So some of the guys in the kitchen have worked there for a decade, and they're fantastic at I teach them. We go over a recipe, we figure it out, we get it down, and then those guys can just hammer it out. So they're just consistently making the same product. So it's not like you come in one week and somebody made the sauce and it tastes like this, and the next week it tastes like that. But they do a great job of keeping it consistent.
Derek Richards with Cunningham's Pub joins us here on a Wing Wednesday. Don't forget there are 2 great locations, 108th and Old Mill and the Blackstone District. Obviously, we're hitting the lull of sports season. People have continuously asked us, is Sunday brunch still going to be a thing without football, without basketball on TV?
Oh yeah, we're actually getting ready to expand. So with the sports lull, we'll be getting into our like summer cocktails. So we are working on some margaritas right now.
Yep.
Different Moscow mules.
Dan's getting hammered tonight because what did you bring in?
It's SJ's Mai Tai. It's actually Sushi Japan. I don't know if you guys remember Sushi Japan. Great sushi. I worked there for a couple of years. Loved it. Great restaurant. It's gone now, but they were kind enough to allow me to continue on with their Mai Tai.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. That's why we have a Mai Tai. It's a little weird at an Irish place having a Mai Tai.
Hey, listen, it's something people are going to ask for.
But yeah,
it's fruity. It's got alcohol in it.
It's
people want
great in the summer. It is so refreshing. So we're working on that. We're going to expand our happy hour menu. So Sundays is a little like you get your Sunday fun day.
Sure.
With some Mai Tais and margaritas, things like that.
Stop at the 2 locations, whether it be the Blackstone District or 108th and Old Mill Road. Stop and tell Derek you heard about him on After Hours. Don't forget, it is a Wing Wednesday. What does that mean for you? You can stop by either one of our socials on Facebook or on Twitter. Follow us and retweet or share out the video of Cunningham's Wings tonight, and we're going to enter you into a drawing to win a $25 gift card to to the Blackstone location tonight. We'll be right back. A few people talked in Lincoln yesterday. Riley Van Poppel had a lot to say, and John Butler kind of unpacked the defense. We'll talk about all that and more when we come back. 1620 The Zone.
Thanks, man. Yeah, of course. Thank you guys.
Hey, everybody. John Schreiner here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. You know, it warmed up a lot today. Saw the golf courses out around town. Lots of bodies out there. Lots of people with some substandard gear. If you want to get your golf gear right, Jerry Ryan is a place for you to go. 78th and Dodge, right in the middle of Omaha. The Roan golf shirts. I've been telling you about these for a couple of weeks now, but I'm telling you what, if you have not been in there to check them out, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. They are some of the best looking golf polos on the market, and they feel incredible. You've never felt a golf polo as comfortable and as smooth and as slick and as great looking as what the Roan line has to offer. And you can get it right there at Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Plus, there's still a little bit of that Creighton gear, still 50% off if you're looking for some last minute in the Blue Jay Blue. Check them out at 78th and Dodge. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, dressing Omaha for 50 years.
Are you watching the water slowly seep down the drain again? Go with a local solution. Go with Trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
The temperatures are rising outside. Don't let them rise inside. Controlled Comfort is your go-to for all things residential and commercial HVAC. Schedule an appointment today to get your AC checked out before summer gets here. Don't forget to make sure that your filter gets changed too. Head over to controlledcomfort.com and get the details on their annual maintenance plans today.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Under Underdog just became one of the best places to make picks during the NBA playoffs with their extender promo. With the extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boost each round of the playoff. Underdog is the leading place to make all your sports picks, and you can play now in your state, which is our state. Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. So to play, you all you have to do is download the app, choose whether a player goes higher, lower, what other stats. You can choose from things like points, assist, and trust me, there's a lot more. Rebound, you'd be surprised. Take a look at it. Once your picks feel good, you can play with as little as $1. If you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. That's a lot more. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at the playing games, and then I'm looking at the NBA playoffs, which start this weekend. The 2-month odyssey. Who's going to win? Well, I will, and you can too. Download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code ZONE to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code ZONE. Must be 19 plus in Nebraska and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Here's another Energy Media radio station you may want to put in your presets. Check out Sweet 98.5, Omaha's workday favorites for hits from the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and today. An Omaha legend, Sweet 98.5.
.618 on a Wednesday night edition of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu. You can register for classes and become a Bruin as early as this fall. Jimmy Allen, John Schreiner, Dan Campenden with you here tonight. The defensive coordinator was at the podium in Lincoln yesterday, however. John Butler spoke to the media yesterday, John, and he said he feels really good about where this defense is from a mentality standpoint. He said installation was basically done after the 5th practice. They just wrapped up the 11th practice yesterday, and they're really comfortable from a game plan standpoint because they kind of know who and what they want. Is that surprising to you this early in the spring?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what you wanted him to say, right? Like the springtime.
Well, he said they got a 2 deep. They're firm on a 2 deep, which is really surprising.
It's essentially firm. But I think like springtime is like all things are positive. You know, everybody's learning, everybody's getting better. The guys came in looking great after winter conditioning, and we've got all the install done, and everybody's picking it up. And like, I don't know that I've ever heard a coach in a spring press conference come in there and go like, man, we are so far behind.
These guys are awful.
These guys need to do so much work over the summer, or we are just going to absolutely suck. Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I think you have to take some of it with a grain of salt. But I do think his comments about the secondary were enlightening. I think that's where I found the most value in what he was talking about. The overall stuff, like, I mean, if he came out and said, like, look, we look awful, we got to fix some things, like, and we've only got just a few days left of spring ball to do that. Like, what? He's not going to do that, even if that's the truth. So, to some degree,
I really miss Ty Robinson.
To some degree, it is a bit of like, what did you want him to say?
Yeah, but I agree with you on the secondary thing, because the one thing that's kind of stood out to me post Tony White's transition to Florida State was how much they talked about they wanted to be more aggressive on third down. And my knee-jerk reaction to that was my heart dropped a little bit because of what that secondary looked like a year ago. And now a lot of that was because of some of Isaac Gifford's limitation. We kind of saw that at the later part of the season. But I think back to that Malcolm Hartzog touchdown against Minnesota, and granted, it was about the most perfectly ran route in the end zone that you could have ever seen. But there were just times in crunch moments where if you're going to bring more pressure, you have to be more disciplined and better in the secondary. And I just don't think the last couple iterations of what the secondary has been is good enough to ramp up that pressure, especially if you're not able to get home with your front four. Now, if they feel a lot better and they've added some pieces, and you and I are pretty big on two guys that redshirted this year that are going to make pretty big impacts this season, we think. But if they have some depth and they feel really good about going 2 deep, 3 deep in some situations, and obviously the elephant in the room is Bly Hill, and what does he look like if he's back? Sierra Wright talked today or yesterday, excuse me, and didn't really say much, but he talked. I think his acting career was a little more interesting than anything he talked about on the football field. But that's a guy that really came on at the end of the season last year. And if you can get a couple of those guys to couple with what you feel like you have at linebacker, and if Riley Van Poppel and Elijah Judy and Williams Nwarni and those guys are all taking steps forward, it's kind of hard to believe that this might not be the best iteration of Nebraska's defense we've seen since Matt Rule got here.
Well, the reason I thought that the secondary stuff was so interesting is because he gave a specific answer to what do you think they're doing. And he said, I think we're really good in man coverage, which is like,
it's not something they ran a ton of last year for that reason.
Please let that be the absolute truth, because so much you can do so much with pressures and exotic blitzes and things. But if you've got lockdown man coverage, if you can cover the receivers long enough for the pressure to get home, like that changes everything. If the hot read isn't immediately open, which we saw so many times, then you can get a ton of pressure on quarterbacks, force them into bad throws, get sacks, those sorts of things. But I mean, yes, there are zone blitzes, but so much of the pressure stems from being good in man coverage. And if that's actually true, then yeah, this defense could take a big leap forward on third down.
He talked about the front four and front three, the pass rush, the D line. He said those guys are kind of a work in progress at this point. There's some guys who've kind of solidified themselves, which I think we all kind of assumed beforehand, right? And then that there's some guys that are kind of factoring in other places. But he almost said it like, we don't really know where the D line is because we know by the time week 8 gets here, it's probably not going to look the same. Because he talked about the grind of that position and how much you have to kind of account for attrition in that room, and which is really surprising because that wasn't the case last year. I mean, they kind of had a spoil of riches at that position.
The last 2 years, really.
Yeah, they didn't really suffer any significant injuries. So it's really surprising that with specifically Nash and Tygon, and obviously you've had some other pass rushers follow to Tallahassee as well, but that they're talking about the weakness of the defense being the defensive line room.
Yeah. And I look, at this point, I think that's to be expected, just like we've hit this so many times, but considering what you lost and those guys are probably like Ty's going to be drafted, Nash back end free agent deal, certainly a possibility of having an NFL career. Like that's a lot to go away. So there are questions to be answered, and you would expect that to be the weakest room on the defensive side of the ball. So again, what else did you want him to say? Like, you can pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, but like, on some level, we know the truth.
I'll caveat that a little bit though, because I mean, you do add a former 5-star guy in Williams Nwarni, and a guy that this team was obviously and clearly very high on coming out of high school. But
he couldn't find the field at Mizzou in his freshman year.
In his freshman year, again, this is another year in a college program, and again, I don't think a lot of people would argue probably a better weight training and better facility situation in Lincoln.
Sure.
And then I think a lot of people saw spark in Elijah Judy and had some good feelings about the way that kind of all shaked out last year. And obviously Riley Van Poppel's got almost a highlight reel of different moments in his first 2 seasons at Nebraska. And they felt like they needed a red shirt because they wanted him to stick around a little bit longer too. So,
he looks like an animal, by the way. Like,
man,
him standing up there at the podium.
When you're bigger than the podium you're standing behind, that's a good sign of being able to take up some run fits.
He looks like he's built the same as Ty Robinson. Like, and they're about the same size.
But he seems a little more solid. You know what I mean? Like, not that Ty was like fat or anything, but like he seems like he's got a lower base.
He's a little more cut.
Yeah, and he just looks a little more grounded too. What have you made about this? Because this seems to be a theme that's been going on this spring. John Butler was specifically asked about Andrew Marshall, the Idaho transfer, who was an all-conference level player at that level, and every coach to a man almost doesn't want to individually name guys.
Yeah,
except Matt Rule. Matt Rule has done that, and the other guys haven't seemed like they wanted to. That's got to be a directive from the head coach, right?
It seems like it. I mean, we don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like at this point, is that, position coaches, coordinators, let's not single out individual players, because maybe in the spring we don't necessarily have all the same thoughts about the players. Sure. And so if we're going to talk about individuals, we're going to speak with one voice, and the head man is the one to do that. So that certainly seems like the case. Don't know if it's actually true. But again, if it's all about competition, if you want everybody to compete every single day and you want them to bring their best and treat everyone as if they are competing for a starting job, because that's what you've told us, then I think this is the right way to go about it.
One guy that I hope we hear from on a real routine basis throughout the season, that I don't think we will, is Terry Braden, because everybody seems to be incredibly high on him, high on his energy, really respective of what he and Coach Simpson have done in their respective rooms, and kind of feel like those two guys are maybe the juice guys at practice. And Riley Van Poppel was specifically asked about him. He said his energy is contagious, and He wants guys to go out there and play fast and play violent and not worry about making mistakes. He said that Coach Braden says, we can fix technique, we can fix hand placement, we can fix your feet later. Go out there and pin your ears back and play aggressively. And at times, specifically in the crunch moments, it feels like that's what this defense has been missing. And it feels like every time that something bad happens on a 3rd and long, maybe it's not a look to the sideline, but maybe a look to the stands, and here we go again. And a fresh perspective that is actively telling you not to do that can go a long, long way.
Well, this was always the criticism of the later years of Bo Pelini's defense, right?
Yep.
Is that if a guy made a mistake, he ended up on a milk carton. And so it looked like they were playing.
Or on national TV getting berated, by the way.
Right. It looked like they were playing so tight and so afraid to make a mistake that they were stuck in the mud. You know what I mean? Paralysis by analysis. So this is something I think that's good. I mean, like, your coach has always told you, I'm sure, like, we'd rather you make an aggressive mistake than a half-hearted.
Do it 100% or don't do it at all. Yeah.
Right. We, do it half-hearted and be in the right place. Like, so if that's the message that's being sent, I love it. I think it's great. And then, to hear John Butler talk about Terry Braden as well, about how he's always there. He's always working. He spends so much time with the guys. Like, that's what you want. Like, that's what you like from the new staff members. You just want to hear that they're invested, they're putting in the time, and they're doing all the right things.
Yeah, and I think that's like, we might be talking about the most skilled team that Matt Rule's had since he's been here. 5-star quarterback. We just mentioned Williams Norney. Like, just from like a 1 through 22 starter standpoint, this might be the most skilled team. But it is going to be interesting to see how this coaching staff gels throughout the season. Like, there's a lot of voices in that defensive line, that front 7 room. How does that mesh heading into Big Ten season? What does it look like? That's going to be intriguing for me.
Yeah. And I thought Butler's comments on that were interesting too, just about how, it seems like under the surface there may have been, I don't want to call it friction, but like some healthy discussion, as because he was talking about Terry Braden, like the way he wants to coach them to do it versus, what Butler and Rule expect to be, and coming together and meeting in the middle on how they're going to approach this thing. So, I mean, it does seem like there's been some growing pains at the very least, that, there have had to be some discussions on how to coach the team and how to approach certain situations and those things. Certainly didn't sound like it was, there was like a big fight about it or anything, but
Sure, maybe just a difference
it's a
in
gelling
opinion.
process.
It is, and it's specifically like if a Tony White, who's technically the defensive coordinator, then everybody knows he's leaving. Like, he was leaving for a head coaching job. Maybe nobody expected him to leave for a DC job, but I mean, it was pretty evident after the way year one ended, there was going to be some suitors for Tony White after year two, that he was probably not going to be here this season. And if you know that, and maybe you don't agree with him philosophically, that could cause a lot of friction in the workplace.
Oh, certainly. I mean, honestly, like, just think about it in your own life. If you ever worked with a boss who wanted you to do things a certain way that you thought they were stupid and could be done better, like, and doing it your own way might get you fired, right? So
for sure,
there's always a balancing act, and it goes back to the thing we talk about so much of relationship building, of not only the coaches having to build relationships with their players and the recruits that they're trying to bring in, but build relationships and trust with each other, so that they all understand that they're after the same goal, and nobody's trying to undermine anyone else, and that the goal is just to win football games.
The UCLA Bruins have themselves a brand new quarterback. We're going to discuss the Nico shakeout, as most people are calling it. We come back on the other side of the break. If you missed this segment, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours 1620. Was brought to you by Allo Fiber. I've been telling you for a while how great Allo's internet speed is. My neighbors apparently have been missing. I've been seeing Allo trucks up and down my block in Papillion. People telling me, Jimmy, we've heard you on the radio saying how quick your internet is. We thought you were lying. We've got our fiber network to our house now, and you were not kidding. These speeds are lightning fast, and anytime I've had a question about my Allo service, I just pick up the phone, call Allo Fiber. They answer very quickly with a real-life person in Omaha, Nebraska. You can't beat that level of customer service in 2025. Get out of the Stone Age. Get Allo Fiber in your house tonight. Head over to allofiber.com tonight. We'll be right back talking the ever-changing landscape of NIL 1620 Zone.
Different stretch of road, new something to see. Every state on the map, a different something.
Hey, everybody, John Schreiner here for Bob at Williams Law. We were just talking about relationship building. Have you done relationship building with an attorney before? Well, you know what a good way to do that would be is to have a meeting with your potential legal representative before you ever start paying them money. Have you ever heard of anything like that? Well, I'm here to tell you there's at least one guy out there in the world who's ready to do that for you. He wants to build a relationship so badly with a potential client, he's willing to give you a no obligation, free initial consultation. You'll get to sit down with Bob, go over whatever situation you're facing, whether it's criminal or civil. He's going to give you the best advice to get you started on the path and answer those questions that you may have right up front, and get you ready for your big day in court. If you've got a legal situation that you need to build a relationship with a legal representative on, and Bob Williams is your guy. Check out WilliamsLawLLC.com.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
You can get a great craft beer pretty much anywhere these days. But what about the whole package? Dining out, service, and atmosphere? Come to Cunningham's Pub and Grill, home of Omaha's original smoked wings, now with 2 locations. We're bringing back Sundays at our Old Mill location this fall, where you can catch all the sports while enjoying quality food and drinks. Find your flavor and follow us online for unique daily specials and fun craft beer events. Cunningham's Pub and Grill in Old Mill and now Blackstone.
Are you watching the water slowly seep down the drain again? Go with a local solution. Go with Trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Individual results may vary. Prescription required. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
You've noticed your hair is thinning out. Or maybe you've noticed your game in the bedroom is getting a bit cold. Let's make this real simple. These are normal things that happen to lots of guys at some point. And through Hims, getting help couldn't be more, as we said, simple. The process is 100% online, so you just have to answer a few simple questions, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. For your hair, that means access to a range of doctor-trusted treatments designed to help you regrow hair in as few as 3 to 6 months. And for your more intimate moments, that means access to treatments made to give you a boost in the bedroom, like Viagra, Cialis, and their generic counterparts, which can cost up to 95% less through Hims. If prescribed, treatment is shipped right to your door. A few clicks, and you're dealing with these things before they become a thing. So simple. Find your hair loss and ED solutions today at Hims.com. That's Hims.com. HIMS.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
And I wish
6:38 on a Wing Wednesday edition of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, and become a Bruin tonight. The shakeout in Knoxville seems to have, for all intents and purposes of a transfer, has been shaken out from Nico Iamaleava transferring to, now we know, UCLA. But Urban Meyer had some thoughts on it. Obviously, Nico is a California native, but I'm a little surprised that he's going to a Big Ten school after specifically how it went against Ohio State. He looked miserable in that climate. I was very surprised to see him end up at a Big Ten school for that purpose. But Urban Meyer today said that Tennessee has a problem and that, you know, if things start to go south in the Florida game, is Josh Heupel going to grab the microphone, go stand at the 50-yard line and say, hey, I know our quarterback's not playing well right now, but I stood my ground for NIL reasons, and this is why we're in the situation we're in. And I'm wondering if this is a Tennessee issue or if this is an SEC issue. Now, listen, I'm very surprised we haven't gotten to the point where there haven't been more threats of holdouts, and I'm kind of surprised this is the first time we're hearing about something like this. And my knee-jerk reaction about all this was to kind of crush Nico and be like, why? Listen, you're getting $4 million. That's a great deal.
He wasn't getting 4. He was getting 2.5.
Sorry, he was getting 2.5. He was trying to get 4. But and then I was like, I didn't understand why he was trying to get 4 is what I meant to say. Sorry. And then I looked at what Carson Beck got. Carson Beck got to go to Miami. Carson Beck got $4 million. And then I was like, what did the Michigan freshman kid get that, what's our guy's name?
Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy claimed he ran all this money up for. And Bryce Underwood is going to be a freshman at Michigan. Got $10 million over 4 years. So if you're a guy that's going to be considered to be somewhere in the Heisman discussion at the beginning of the season, you got your team to a college football playoff, albeit it didn't go very well. You're probably thinking you're probably somewhere at the top of the market going rate. Yeah. I can't imagine he went to UCLA and is getting less than $4 million to go there. We're probably never going to know that number. But the other interesting thing about it was, and the reason I wonder if it's a Tennessee thing, the other school that was in discussion was Tulane.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine Tulane has about $4 million for a quarterback sitting around their NIL pool.
Well, Tulane if you don't know, is an incredibly wealthy school. It's a private school with a very wealthy donor base. And I would disagree with you.
I know that, but like to compete with the Tennessees and UCLAs of the world,
yeah, I would disagree with you though. I don't think he's getting anywhere near $4 million to go to UCLA. I don't think it's even close. I would be surprised if it's more than 3.
Because it's his hometown school? Is that why you're saying that?
Because
UCLA has all sorts of financial issues.
Because of the number of schools who said we're withdrawing our name from the Nico Iamaleava sweepstakes, drove the market down to a point where he was going to be forced into taking a lower number than he wanted. And if it had just been an immediate snap up and somebody jumped on it and he was on a roster 2 days later, I would have told you that I thought he probably got his $4 million bag. But because it's drug out this long and there's a number of schools that have dropped out of the race, I think it's way less than that.
Do you think he made the right decision leaving Tennessee, though?
I think the jury's out on that one.
Sure.
I think that, he said today that it was not because of money, it was because of the offense, which sounds really convenient.
That's what I was going to say. Because
if he ends up having a really good season and, UCLA somehow finishes in the top half of the Big Ten and they're talking about, if they're in the conversation for the playoff late in the year and he's the catalyst for all of that, then I'll tell you, like, he probably made a good decision. But if it goes how I think it's going to go and UCLA is, again, mediocre to not very good, then, like, what have you done? Have you helped yourself at all? I don't think so.
Go ahead, Dan.
That the whole offensive thing is the one piece of this that actually kills me. That he's like, I just didn't fit in with the offense. Nico, you were Josh Heupel's least productive quarterback. Remember the fact that he coached Drew Lock and he convinced everyone that was a first-round draft pick? Oh, yeah. And then he coached that Mackenzie Milton guy who was just throwing bombs all the time. Oh, and not to mention the first 2 years of Dylan Gabriel at UCF and Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton, who all had more touchdown passes thrown than you. Granted, threw a lot less interceptions than the majority of them, but they all had way more stellar offensive numbers than you did. And then to come back to something that you said, Jimmy, hypnotize minds, it's a Tennessee thing, 3-6 Mafia.
The other interesting portion of this, when we talk about the offensive fit, Eric Bieniemy got fired from UCLA. Like, it's not like he's going out there to play in a established NFL Coach Patrick Mahomes offensive system. They're bringing in a 36-year-old former quarterback coach that was at Indiana before Kurt Cignetti got there. Like, he was a Tom Allen prospect. So, like, I don't know. It's a very weird fit to me.
I think from a money perspective,
I'm sorry, I don't want to take anything away from Tino Sansori. Obviously, he was a decent quarterback at Pitt as well, but like, he's not Josh Heupel.
Yeah, he doesn't have that track record for sure.
Also, where is UCLA again?
They're in LA. I don't know if you know.
If you don't know anything about them, yeah. From a money perspective, I think it like, to me, it seems like it's probably about break even, honestly, at this point. I'm guessing it's under $3 million. So from a money perspective, he didn't do himself any favors. From a public perception perspective, from how people feel about you, he didn't do himself any favors. And what happens on the field remains to be seen. So right now, the 2 of the 3 are negative.
I wonder, like, we never do this for athletes, so I'm going to try to play the devil's advocate here. I wonder how much of it was he was homesick and he just wanted to go back to California.
Hey,
and
that's a possibility. But you know what he could have done to not get all the negative attention is he could have come out and said, like, look, man, I tried it at Tennessee.
Yeah,
I don't like living there. I want to go back to the West Coast where I'm from, be close to my family. It's just going to be a better situation for me and my mental health. And if you would have said those words, there would have been Tennessee fans who didn't like it.
Do what's best for your mental health, man.
Tennessee fans wouldn't have liked it. Everyone else in the country would have been like, no, I can understand that.
Right. And all he did was kind of bury himself a little bit. And that's not going to help anybody, specifically the folks in LA where UCLA is located, Dan. Hey, if you missed our discussion on the Nico Shakeout, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. Controlled Comfort's under new ownership. Did you know that? But it's still the same reputable company that's been in Omaha for over 60 years. New logo, same company. Check out controlledcomfort.com to set up a maintenance appointment on your HVAC tonight, whether it be your AC or your heater, whatever you're not having peace of mind about, they're going to put you at ease. They're going to replace your furnace filter. Take a look at your AC and make sure it is ready for the summer months. Make sure that the colder months didn't take too harsh of a toll on your furnace as well. Check out controlledcomfort.com and have peace of mind about your HVAC tonight. We're going to find out what Dan Campion is finding trending on social media. We come back. 1620 Zone.
Getting burned and getting bugged, daps and hugs, mean mugs and shoulder shrugs, and it's all because accumulated enough.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Pepper Jack's Grill. Listen, you've been eating Pepper Jack's for a long time. You love the steak rice bowl. You love the chicken Philly. You love the delicious salad options. But you're always probably wondering, man, this is so much food. Do I need another side option? The answer is absolutely you do. You know what you need? You need cheese curds. You need onion rings. You need jalapeno poppers, and all of them are now available at the 10 great Pepper Jack's locations in the Omaha area. Stop by tonight, grab dinner, and add that side.
The temperatures are rising outside. Don't let them rise inside. Controlled Comfort is your go-to for all things residential and commercial HVAC. Schedule an appointment today to get your AC checked out before summer gets here. Don't forget to make sure that your filter gets changed too. Head over to controlledcomfort.com and get the details on their annual maintenance plans today.
For all your home and business needs, Controlled Comfort is here to please. Controlled Comfort keeps it under control.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
New Year's resolutions? Let's be honest, they're long gone. So why not embrace that fact and make it cheesy at Pepper Jack's Grill? Got the app? Get the cheese. Loyalty members get free cheese sauce on Phillies, rice bowls, and burritos because everything's better with cheese. Not a member? Join today on the Pepper Jack's app and get in on all that cheesy goodness.
Pepper Jack's Grill.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows? Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Wrapping up the first hour of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Bellevue University. Keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus this spring by downloading the BU Bruins app to your smartphone. Tonight, it's time for the social media soundbite where Dan Campinen goes on the internet, finds what's trending, and tells all of us about it.
Indeed it is. Have you ever wanted to have someone else handle your problems for you?
I set that up perfectly for you to clear your throat on air. Killing me, kid.
Yeah.
See, John, it's not just Brody.
Yeah. You always want to have someone
It's
fix your
everyone.
problems for you. And there's a tennis player at the Rouen Open who had a serious problem with her opponent. Let's take a very quick listen. That was young Harriet Dart complaining to the chair ref saying, "Can you please tell my opponent to wear deodorant? She smells very bad." And then also, as she walks away, reiterating it and saying that she smells very bad.
How bad do you have to smell on a tennis court for your opponent to be able to smell it?
I guess when you get close to the net to volley or when you're changing sides.
I was going to say they have to walk by each other to change sides, and that's the only time that you're close enough to smell another person.
I'm gonna make a confession.
Oh,
I used to purposefully not wear deodorant when I played soccer so that people would want to stay away from me.
So that's what I was going to bring up. Is I wonder how much of this was an intentional thing, right?
It wasn't. She was wearing deodorant.
Oh well.
Well, hold on. Maybe she wasn't.
I was going to say
she is French.
I don't know if this is true or not, and based on the person whose mouth it came out of, it's probably not. But Hulk Hogan said that he used to drink a glass of milk the day before a match. So when he went to go lock up with his opponent, he'd breathe through his mustache, and they smelled the curdling milk in his mustache.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. Considering wrestling's fake, that's probably not true. But considering it's Hulk Hogan, this is rude. I mean, maybe she did try to say it privately. So
okay, so
she went to a third party to try and mediate the situation. So
maybe she didn't know if she's
no. We're not going to let this human piece of garbage get out of this.
Whoa.
We're not letting this piece of garbage get out of this.
Low bar for human piece of garbage.
Yeah. I hate women, says Dan Campinen.
I hate Harriet Dart, says Dan Campinen. First off, this is a horrible thing to say out loud to anyone. All tennis matches in some way are mic'd up extremely well.
That's a good point.
And you can hear everything that the chair umpire says as long as that mic is unmuted. And to say that about Lois Boyson, the opponent that she was playing, who not but like a year ago was completely and utterly out of the game of tennis. She blew out her ACL and legitimately thought that she was never going to play tennis ever again. It's just a terrible thing to put on someone. Oh yeah, and by the way, Harriet Dart lost this match in straight sets.
Good.
Because
hey,
bad people have bad things happen to them.
If I smell bad, I want you guys to tell me. Please.
Would you like us to tell a national television audience though?
It's fine. Let me know. I don't.
Well, hey, buddy, we gotta have a conversation here.
I'm only ever going to do it if I have to bring in a third party to tell you.
John, you smell so bad we can smell you through the microphone right now.
I'm only 13 miles away.
Dan, you watch the most obscure sports of any human being I've ever met in my entire life.
This isn't an obscure sport.
This came across like as one of my news notifications last night, and I was like, "Oh, this is a social media soundbite for tomorrow."
I'm glad we got it tonight. If you missed the social media soundbite, want to find out who stinks, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. Tell us why it's not John Schreiner. It was brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. If you're the decision maker in your company, Google your business right now. Do you like what you see? Do you not see your business at all? Check out pixelfiremarketing.com. They'll help put you at the top of search engine optimization, build you a brand online or behind your social media platforms, and create you a designed website that fits your brand. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details today. Dan Campanen was left in charge of buy or sell tonight. Should we be scared? We'll find out on the other side of the break. 1620 zone.
She looked at me and this is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked.
Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Paul Davis Restoration. Listen, we know seasonal storms are right around the corner, and not just outside of the house can be damaged by seasonal storms. Maybe when it rains, your basement backs up. Maybe when the winds pick up from the northeast and you start getting those firestorms out of Colorado and maybe out of Kansas, you start getting some smoke damage into your house, and maybe you just need some restoration done to your home. What you need to do is you need to call 402-522-6317. Get the answers you're looking for from Paul Davis Restoration tonight.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Cunningham's Pub and Grill, now open in Blackstone. Signature smoked wings, one-of-a-kind sandwiches, wraps, burgers, and more. Fill your glass with craft beer or one of our house-made cocktails right on tap. Whether it's lunch with the office or watching the game with friends, come experience a great time. Keep up with us online for delicious daily food and drink specials and find your flavor at Cunningham's. Locally owned and operated in Old Mill and 38th and Farnham in Blackstone.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Riding season is here, and it's time to trade in and trade up. Or, if you ain't riding it, Luss Hills Harley-Davidson is buying it. Sell your Harley-Davidson today. Luss Hills Harley-Davidson. Rise up and ride on.
Hello, I'm Chris Knopf. I am the CEO of Stevens Center in Omaha. We believe everyone deserves a chance for a fresh start. Between our emergency shelter, our permanent supportive housing units, and our addiction recovery program, we provide food, shelter, wraparound supportive services, and addiction recovery programs to individuals and families to help overcome homelessness, rebuild their lives, and find a path to a permanent housing destination. You can help others by helping us. Visit stevenscenter.org.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Top of the second hour here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Book yourself a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They can do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com. Today, John Schreiner, we have a special guest in studio already with us. It's Bob Williams of Williams Law.
Hey, Bobo.
For buy or sell tonight.
Thanks for having me back.
Dan, what do we got?
Defense. Can't turn on any microphones tonight. Defense wins championships.
Sure does.
That is Nico Harrison's line, and he is sticking to it. An open media availability with Tim McMahon of ESPN, Mavs GM Nico Harrison. Oh my gosh, held
There
the
you
line
go. There it is.
and stuck by his guns of being justified in the Luka trade. Buy or sell, we will see this blow up in his face soon. And by soon, I mean
It already has, right?
this weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to debate that this whole thing just hasn't been a disaster. And I was kind of giving Josh Peterson crap at his DMs earlier because he'd made a comment on USC saying that I don't think the Mavs would have known that Jalen Brunson was going to be this good. Otherwise, they probably would have sent him out of town. I'm like, well, they traded a top 3 player in the NBA. So never say never. Listen, it's been a disaster. It's going to just continue to get worse. Luka is looking like he may have what it takes to will the Lakers to maybe even possibly a Western Conference Finals with LeBron James. The worst thing, I mean, the Mavericks are rooting for everybody in the West at this point, not named the Lakers.
I think the Celtics are doing too, don't you, John?
Yeah. I think that what's become evident is that the Mavericks are trying to cut salary. They're trying to burn it down, not spend much money for a few years, and then try to do a 76ers thing where they come back and almost win a title and don't. Like, that's what's going to happen with the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, this is what happens when you don't have the backing of a guy with the wallet the size of Mark Cuban, right? Like, I mean, who was just using this as a toy and was like, hey, I'll just spend my other billions of dollars that I have sitting over here on my fun little NBA franchise.
I would agree. I would buy with the egg on the face right now. I think it's pretty obvious to anybody watching or paying attention that they've gone about this the wholly the wrong way. The media perception, the fan perception. Yeah, bad situation.
Yeah, this is only going to go as bad as we all think it's going to go. Especially when you see the comments that Tim McMahon made and was like, you need to explain your thinking here on why you actually made the Luka trade, because you've got 26, 27, 28. Those were your years to continue building around Luka, and that was your championship window. As you stated it, Nico Harrison, you said that this is our championship window.
Which he would have only been 29 by that point.
Yeah, these are our 3 years that we're like going to continue building around Luka and creating a championship. And
guys, I'm just going to say it.
You just said, screw it.
I think the Mavericks made a bad decision. Hot take.
I think everyone's going to believe you there.
Dan?
Crap. Don't look now. But Rick Pitino and the Red Storm are reloading. They have now signed 3 transfers, most recently 6'5" Stanford guard Oziah Sellers, and just had a visit from one of the top point guard prospects in the country, Akadin Lewis. Buy or sell, the Red Storm will be the team to beat in the Big East in 25-26.
Is Rick Pitino still their head coach?
I believe so.
Buy. Yeah, listen, I mean, you've got the backing. They've got things rolling out there. He's one of the top coaches in the entire country. The way the NIL and the transfer portal works now, I mean, you're just going to have a reload situation for anybody that's a top-level head coach, right? That's why you hire that guy. That's why you pay him the money that you're going to, and that's kind of the task at hand for Creighton. I know that's not what you asked, Dan, but when you look at the transition from Greg McDermott to Alan Huss that we're going to see, is how are they able to maintain that we're going to get guy A because of the guy that's calling the plays for him and draw it up for him. So yeah, I think St. John's is going to be a problem in the Big East for as long as Rick Pitino's in the head chair.
Do you remember when St. John's hired Rick Pitino and we asked, did the youths care about Rick Pitino anymore? Do they know who Rick Pitino is? Will this make a difference? Yeah, I think we have an answer. The Rick Pitino effect is still real, and he's making an impact on drawing players to St. John's.
I wonder how much the advent of agents into the college market has mattered too. Because maybe if they don't know, the guy that's helping them make their NIL decisions may know exactly where they need to end up playing their basketball at.
Yeah, I buy as well. I think the NIL format plays right into Pitino's hands. And barring somebody driving a stake through that vampire's heart, he'll be back next year, and I think they'll be the team to beat.
Let's just hope he's not wearing the all-white suit when they do it.
I think my favorite thing of all of the stuff is, number one, I do like Rick Pitino as a coach. He's just like an old school guy and is also the greatest name drop in all of rap history. If you don't know, you will know. But Lewis's dad is the one that I'm really looking at in this situation.
RJ Louise, you mean?
No, Lewis. Akadin Lewis's
Oh,
dad.
okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He's been tweeting like crazy because after this visit, he was like, they brought us in. They treated us right. They want my son to be at their school. He was a little bit surprised in general to hear from the majority of the colleges that they've been hearing from, because they're like, everyone's just working transfer portal now. But it's nice to know that Rick Pitino understands that you have to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Right.
Especially when it's one of the top unsigned prospects.
That's what the best coaches in the country are doing. Absolutely. They're trying to get young players to grow them into old prospects while having some built-in leadership along the way.
Yep. So in lieu of going full NFL draft with one of my questions, I want to get to a story that we didn't catch last week. No, I did spell that right. The ageless wonder, Joe Flacco, is coming back to Cleveland, and he'll be backing up Mr. Massage. Buy or sell, we'll see Flacco by week 4.
Sell. We'll see Flacco by week 2. Deshaun Watson's not going to pan out, man. And I'm going to go on a record. I know they owe him, let me count, 1, 2, a lot of money. I don't think we ever see him start another football game for the Cleveland Browns.
Ever?
Ever.
That's a bold claim.
Never, ever? Ever.
Will we see Flacco by week 4? No, I think it's going to be after that. I'm selling on this. I think it's going to be somewhere around week 6 or 7 when the Browns are totally out of it and they have no chance at anything. And they're going to try to cut bait with Deshaun Watson and just use Flacco as a stopgap to the end of the season.
I think Watson might end up being the next Bobby Bonilla. We're like, the Cleveland Browns had to spend X amount of money today.
It's Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't name a day after that guy. Please spare us that. Who else is in their quarterback room right now besides those two? Where did Kenny Pickett go? Didn't he get traded?
Kenny Pickett isn't he with the Chargers?
I can't recall. I know that the Eagles had him for a backup last year, and I thought he got traded. But
Kenny Pickett is currently the 3rd quarterback on the Cleveland Browns roster.
Okay, so I actually knew something here today. Okay, so I guess I will sell that Flacco will be a starter by week 4 because I think Pickett's probably the man in charge there.
That's a fair assessment. I just wanted to do that so I could call Deshaun Watson Mr. Massage, to be honest. Moving on.
Fair enough.
The NBA playoffs are officially here. It's great. It's wonderful. And John, you can turn your brain back on because I want to talk about hockey. The playoffs of the NHL are almost set. The Montreal Canadiens are the last team with anything really at stake here. If they don't lose in regulation tonight, they are officially the final wildcard team in the playoffs. As we stand now in the East, Leafs, Lightning, Panthers, and in the West, Jets, Stars, Avalanche as the automatic bids. Buy or sell that one of these 6 can get it done. And bonus point, give me your hoister of Lord Stanley's Cup.
John?
Look, I know this is a big-time homer pick, but this might be it for Ovi, and I think the Caps are going to have a little extra juice this offseason or this postseason. It just feels right to me that he breaks Gretzky's record and he goes out hoisting the cup, and then rides off into the Russian sunset. Like that feels like a fairy tale that's too good to miss out on, and it's what I want to happen, and I honestly think it could.
The Caps have the best record too, right, in the East, don't they? If I'm not mistaken, or up there somewhere.
They're up there.
They're one
It's
of
not
the
the
wild
best.
card teams.
Are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not the best
Oh.
record.
They're like the best wild card team, though.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
the stupid points thing.
oh, that's right. You know who's not going to win the cup? I'll answer that first. Somehow the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to find a way to screw
Oh,
it
no
up.
doubt.
Put that in the ledger for sure already. I really like Winnipeg, man. The way they play with speed, the way they can be aggressive when they need to. They've got great defense. They have maybe the best extra pass in all of hockey. I think the Jets, not New York Jets, win the Lord Stanley's Cup and bring that trophy back to Canada.
Well, I'm going to answer Dan's original question about the NBA there on that buy or sell question. Did you see Steph and Jimmy last night? How about that duo?
I love it for them.
Yeah.
Steph finally has another partner to really, truly cook with.
They look like they're enjoying it.
Wow, they took everything they had to get that one done too. It
Yeah.
was great. It was great.
Working
basketball.
out for 'em.
Yeah, absolutely.
In my opinion, I will be happy seeing anyone lift Lord Stanley's Cup that is not named the Colorado Avalanche. You know what you did. You know whose hearts you broke. And you know whose faces you broke as well. I do think, I would agree with John, it would be nice to see the Capitals win one in Ovies last year so we can ride out into the sunset with the most goals of all time and a Stanley Cup, live happily in Russia, and probably pulling Nikola Jokic and get really into horses. Seems like that kind of guy. But I will disagree with you, Jimmy. I know the Leafs will screw it up. They are not a good hockey team when it comes to playoff time.
Death taxes the Maple Leafs blow series.
And I would really like to see the Maple Leafs actually win. I want one for Austin Matthews in that back pocket. He has played such good hockey over his entire career, and he has just gotten the shaft at every single turn. It's like Four Nations face off. Wow, he's the best player that we have on our team. And then he was like, this is great. I love playing hockey with all these guys. Crap, I have to go back to Toronto and play for the Maple Leafs again.
The team that always scares me in the postseason is Florida because they play so grindy and it's boring to watch, but it's effective, and they beat the crap out of you and they score one goal and that's enough. Like it's just they're so difficult to beat across a 7-game series. So that's the team that I'm most scared of when it comes to the Caps.
We got time for one more?
One more?
Perfect. My last one. Well, can I add another liner to Carmelo Anthony's business card? National champion, wine connoisseur, Hall of Famer, and now cannabis brand owner. The Stay Mellow brand has entered that cannabis space. Buy or sell, this career move makes sense for number 7.
This is a trend, right? I mean, Ric Flair's gotten into this. Hulk Hogan, who we've already mentioned twice now on the show, and I feel gross doing it both times, is in beer. But like, there just seems to be this passive income through the recreational, whether it be beer or marijuana stint in celebrity world right now. I think it makes sense. Listen, it's a trend. He's trying to keep his name relevant. I don't mind it at all.
You know the easiest way to make money? Get famous. Because you don't have to do anything after that. You just stamp your name on things. Like, of course it makes sense for him to do it. Why would he not? He probably doesn't have to do anything. He just puts Stay Mellow on
lettuce,
it.
John. It's the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, Stay Mellow and rake in the cash. Like, of course it makes sense.
It totally makes sense. It's a total buy. He's got the namesake, which is a no-brainer. And you can think outside of just recreational use states where it's actually legal in states like Nebraska, where you can have Delta 8 products, at least for the time being, and THCA products. You can actually have come from the same original plant, same derivative, and actually brand them the same in non-recreational states. So why not?
Bunch of lawbreakers in this room, I tell you what. Hey, if you missed Buy or Sell tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. Springtime outside. You know what that means? It's about to get real hot real fast outside. You know what you don't want it to do? Get real hot real fast inside. Make sure you get a maintenance appointment set up with Controlled Comfort. Have them come out, take a look at your AC unit. Make sure that the winter wasn't too harsh on it outside and it's ready to go for the summer. Check out Controlled Comfort, their new website at controlledcomfort.com tonight. We'll be right back. Catch up with Bobby Law himself here on 1620 The Zone.
629. She said, but it's too late. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7.
Windy and warm this evening. Temperatures well up in the 70s. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, a low near 60. Then mostly cloudy and warm Thursday, a high in the low 80s with a chance of thunderstorms toward evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Randy from KETV News Watch 7.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
New Year's resolutions? Let's be honest, they're long gone. So why not embrace that fact and make it cheesy at Pepper Jack's Grill? Got the app? Get the cheese. Loyalty members get free cheese sauce on Phillies, rice bowls, and burritos because everything's better with cheese. Not a member? Join today on the Pepper Jack's app and get in on all that cheesy goodness.
Pepper Jack's Grill.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin Athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows. Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
It's 7:20 p.m. on a Wednesday night edition of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. You don't become number one in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. It's time to talk legalities, and our good friend Bob Williams from Williams Law is with us tonight. Criminal, personal, civil, he handles it all as well. But we're going to talk vandalism. Now, this is an interesting discussion that we had back in mid-February. There was a moment at the CHI Health Center where perhaps a line didn't get covered in Vegas, and somebody from the upper bowl threw a lemon onto the court. And we just recently saw in France, a 28-year-old Belgian man threw a plastic bottle at Matthew Vanderpool during a Paris bike race, and it led to a criminal investigation. And the Belgian man, who I thought was interesting, didn't get named, has offered an apology, and it's been accepted, and they're dropping criminal charges. But we've seen streakers. We've seen people throw things on a playing surface. And now we've got what seems to be criminal-type investigations going on across the seas. What are some of the ramifications for things like this on U.S. soil?
Well, that's a good question, Jimmy. And it really depends, first of all, where the incident takes place. Is it taking place? And we've talked before about incidents at sporting events, and that's a different set of circumstances clearly than someone on a street hurling a plastic ball at a racer. Although the street being blocked off could be considered a city event of some sort, and there might be some trespassing charges as well. But generally speaking, if you touch another individual or menacingly threaten another individual and cause some type of harm to that individual, you could be held criminally liable for assault and battery under city code in Omaha or the assault third degree statute for the state of Nebraska. Now, if there's an object used and you cause serious bodily injury, there could be felony charges that go along with that. Well, now it depends whether it was intentional act or a reckless act that results in serious bodily injury. But yes, that stuff does happen. And again, it really and very much depends on the location. Now, the example you gave within a stadium, that's first of all a trespass, which is its own criminal charge. If you throw something and it hits another either patron or a person participating in an event or a referee, you could certainly be held liable for criminal acts. Now, the wide cross section of my clients over the years that have had somewhat similar type of charges, typically these acts are a one-off. They're responding to something due to emotion. And this is maybe not a typical scenario in which they would violate the law. So clients in this scenario, typically what I would do is make sure they're doing okay mentally and physically. Our repercussions, can we make somebody whole again if there's any damages or injuries resulting in medical care? Apologies need to be assessed and delivered as well.
Right.
Typically you can avoid jail if there's not serious injury, and it does depend on the event as well. Now, there was a lot of these, try not to get political here, but back when we had with COVID and BLM and some things, there was a lot of different incidents of vandalism. And the Omaha as a city changed some ordinances that even predated that for vandalism. We used to have some problems with high school kids vandalizing and painting and tagging under bridges. So there's some specific Omaha city ordinances on point with that actually following the first incident require jail time as a requisite to deter that type of behavior. So there are some things like that are in place because of these incidents happening over time.
So I know we talked about this when it happened, Bob, but I think back to the Texas-Georgia football game when the Texas fans throw their trash on the field. And I'm not talking that they stormed the field. They actually were throwing actual garbage on the field. that was a joke about Texas fans being trashed, by the way.
We got it. Good
Not
joke.
necessarily, but yeah, got
Good
it.
joke.
And I wonder, like, in that situation, none of the Texas fans were punished for any of that. And in your mind, the difference between these two things is like, is it just the fact that nobody was hurt in the Texas game, or nobody was? I think security guards were hit with things for sure. But like, where does that line come, and who has the authority to decide whether or not people get punished for it?
Well, in that scenario, I think there are really two things you look at. One is you look at what's the university's role in that. What are they looking to do? Is it regular fans? Is it students or student athletes that they're watching the game from the side? Who are these people that are allegedly breaking the law? Is it simply a littering charge or a trespass charge? Does it rise to the level that would, in fact, be an assault charge of some sort? And then let's look at the logistics. How do you sort out? Which fans you can identify, which fans you are not able to identify. I mean, we've seen some of this stuff in professional sports where we've had melees, bigger group conflicts where they've had to go through security cameras and who is doing this, who is doing that, who no longer has season tickets. I think generally speaking, though, unless there is significant injury to a party on the field, you're going to have the university get together with the second piece of that, which is local law enforcement. They're going to put their heads together and what's best for the greater good. That would also include deterring future similar behavior and putting protocols in place to also deter that. And that may include things like having additional ushers or putting up some type of net barrier, or moving those season ticket holders, maybe not taking their tickets away, but maybe moving them to a different spot in the stadium. Those are all viable outcomes because I think the university does want to save face as much as they can while appearing that they're taking things very seriously.
Dan, you had a question about, we're trying not to stay political, but we're going super political here. So go ahead.
Heck yeah. All right. Oh, do I get the first one that I texted about today?
No, the other one.
Boo. Okay. So I have no idea what's going on with this specifically, but I did hear it get rage baited this morning on a national sports program. So with Donald Trump's tariffs and all that he's putting on foreign countries, there is rumors about that the Ryder Cup for America could be in jeopardy with us not being allowed to possibly host it here, or possibly Europeans not wanting to send their athletes over here to compete in the Ryder Cup. Do you think that there's any weight to the tariffs really truly affecting sporting events?
Well, I would say, first of all, probably not as much with some type of event such as the Ryder Cup. Again, it's at Bethpage Black this year, so it's back in New York, back in the U.S. And I believe that they usually have some type of stipend or fee that gets donated on behalf of the participants to a charity of their choosing. And I believe this year, at least the U.S. athletes get to keep the 200 of the 300 grand for that. I'm not sure about the Europeans, but I'm guessing they have some similar agreement. So I'm guessing they're not going to want to miss out on those paychecks, other than some of the logistics with transportation and maybe hotels and lodging. There's probably not going to be much of an impact on that. But if you look on a bigger global scale with regard to like the World Cup or the the 2028 Olympics, being the Paralympics and the regular standard Olympics, more so with the World Cup, you're going to see companies like, so Hyundai is a huge, it's a company that's hugely related in marketing and promotes the FIFA brand worldwide. And so with them being a sponsor of the Club World Cup and the World Cup in 2026, are they, with all these big hits they're taking because of these tariffs, are they going to want to spend these uber millions of dollars on their marketing to U.S. citizens or a U.S. market base, when in fact their market share may decrease because of these tariffs, and just would not be prudent for them to spend the money on that when they're not going to be selling these vehicles here to such a high degree. Now, I think that's going to, like in many things we've seen even in the last week, I think the pendulum is going to swing back hard with regard to several things. And I think that the powers that be will want us to have everything on the up and up on the world stage when it comes to major sporting events such as those, Super Bowl, Olympics, etc. But again, global exchange rate could be affected as well. You've got teams like Manchester United, who is a club that's listed as a New York club, if you can believe it. They have $650 million worth of loans out through the U.S., and so the global exchange rate may affect their profitability and sustainability rules that they have to participate in as a member.
Not like Chelsea, right, John?
No, Chelsea's also owned by an American.
I know that was sarcasm.
Todd Bowley.
We've talked about this before. Well, Bob, we appreciate your insight, and hopefully we still do get the Ryder Cup and we get less trash thrown onto playing surfaces. Don't be that guy. But if you do find yourself in legal trouble, go ahead and head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com. If you like the insight you just heard, Bob and his team will sit down with you. They'll walk you through your rights. They'll walk you through the process, get you ready for your big day in court. Head over to Williams Law LLC. They'll give you a free, no obligation legal consultation, and maybe he'll talk to Eagles with you as well. We'll catch up with you next week, Bob. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys.
On the other side of the break, we're going to talk about Trae Young. Is he bad for Oklahoma? Why would he be? We'll discuss the other side of the break. 1620 The Zone.
I say she never cared and that she never will. Do it all again.
Hey, everybody. It's Jimmy Allen here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. You getting married this year? It's a good decision. It's the best decision I ever made. I love my wife. You know what else I loved? I loved my suit from Jerry Ryan that I got to wear on my big day. You're going to love your experience at Jerry Ryan as well. Not only will you have a great fitting with John, Deanne, Monier, the Taylor, Jake, whoever it is, they're going to give you an A-plus experience. You're going to own your suit for the rest of your life. So you can experience that big day over and over again whenever you like. Maybe just open up the closet and remember your happiest day of your life. You could do it by stopping by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
New Year's resolutions? Let's be honest, they're long gone. So why not embrace that fact and make it cheesy at Pepper Jack's Grill? Got the app? Get the cheese. Loyalty members get free cheese sauce on Phillies, rice bowls, and burritos because everything's better with cheese. Not a member? Join today on the Pepper Jack's app and get in on all that cheesy goodness.
Pepper Jack's Grill.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
The spring yard cleanup season is here. Lanahaw produces Omaha's finest mulch. The best colors, best value, and the best quality. There is a difference. Have us deliver or stop by for convenient on-site loading. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lanahaw, 192nd and Center.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey there, I'm Tyler Bebout with Modern Real Estate. So when we come to your house for a consultation, we will give you a cash offer guaranteed up to $2 million. And then we also give you suggestions on repairs, remodels, or additions on what the future profit might be as you go to market. So when you're ready to go to market, we have different packages on how you can actually save thousands more on commission, depending on how you want to do marketing, how we want to pay buyers agents and things like that with the new rules that came out with the National Association of Realtors. Call and text at 402-450-5970, or you can go to myearnedequity.com.
How you doing? Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Let's talk trout, because thousands of 12-inch plus rainbow and cutbow trout, they're being stocked in select waters around the state for your spring fishing. These trout offer a close-to-home opportunity to get outdoors with family or friends and catch a few nice fish for the grill. So get your fishing permit, check the weather, grab your gear, and then go fish. You can get a list of those trout stock locations, by the way, online through the Game and Parks website, outdoornebraska.gov. Have some boat notes to pass along. Are you getting ready to put your boat on the water? Well, good. But is your motorboat registration current? If not, renewal is done through the county treasurer's office. And do you have all the required equipment for your boat as well? And is all of it in good working order, including your life jackets? Check those things out. It's all part of Boating Smart at the start. I'm Greg Wagner with Nebraska Game and Parks.
Hello, I'm Chris Knopf. I am the CEO of Stevens Center in Omaha. We believe everyone deserves a chance for a fresh start. Between our emergency shelter, our permanent supportive housing units, and our addiction recovery program, we provide food, shelter, wraparound supportive services, and addiction recovery programs to individuals and families to help overcome homelessness, rebuild their lives, and find a path to a permanent housing destination. You can help others by helping us. Visit StevensCenter.org.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
I get knocked down.
7:37 on a Wing Wednesday edition of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Book a free estimate for your roof, your windows, your gutters, your siding, your roof. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com. Tonight, John Schreiner, Jimmy Allen, Dan Campenden with you here tonight on 1620 The Zone. We've talked about this a couple times, but the advent of athletes as associate GMs or in some role of administration at their alma mater. And one of those guys that we brought up 2 weeks ago was Trey Young, who is the associate GM of the Oklahoma Sooners men's basketball team. Now, I think let's face it, everybody thought this was great. He's one of the young faces of the NBA, and the Hawks are always prevalent. And Trey Young's going to be around for a while, and all publicity is good publicity, and blah, 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 blah. Well, last night, the Hawks got boat raced by the Magic. And Trey Young, while his team was down 19, gets blocked on one end of the court, clearly gets fouled. I mean, he got landed on top of, no whistle. And then he comes back the other way, and Cole Anthony hits a three-point shot, basically icing the game. I mean, it was over at that point. But the Magic were 5 of 8 from three, and the Hawks hadn't hit a three-point shot in the entire fourth quarter. Anthony finished with 26 off the bench. He is their top scorer. But on the next possession, Trey Young goes down the court, splits two defenders, gets an easy layup, no call, gets the basket or gets the ball after it goes through the hoops, and just push passes it as hard as he can at the official. Gets teed up for doing it. And then basically walked over and knocked the ball out of the official's hands and kicked it around. And the game was over. Did it matter from a sense of trying to win the basketball game? No. And now the big picture is the Hawks, lose that 8-9 matchup, and they're going to get the winner of the Bulls and the Heat tonight. But I couldn't stop thinking that this is the guy that is being put as one of the figureheads and the faces of Oklahoma's men's basketball program now. You want 18 to 22-year-olds to be involved with this person who can't even conduct themselves. And listen, this is obviously low-hanging fruit, and Trey Young doesn't often act like this. But this,
Really?
He's got a bit of a temper, and I'll give you that. But I kind of wonder if Oklahoma's having a little bit of buyer's remorse today.
Well, I don't know, but it's certainly a ridiculous look for someone who is supposed to be in charge of a college, ostensibly in charge of a college roster.
He's the face of an NBA franchise.
Yeah. But here's my thing. And Trey, I know you're listening. Big fan of the After Hours Lounge.
Trey in Atlanta, 402-951-1620.
Have you tried meditation, bud?
or an
Let me
ayahuasca
guide. Let me guide you. Let me guide you real quick. Okay, Trey. I want you to sit down, close your eyes, comb your hair first. Do that.
Yeah, it was a mess last night.
Now, notice where your anger arises from, Trey. Feel the sensation in your mind of where the anger arises from. And then once you've reached that point, notice how nobody gives a crap why you're angry. And that throwing the ball at the official is not helpful. Notice how your actions are stupid and juvenile. And then stand up and grow up, dude. Like, come on. This is so childish.
And let me preface this with intent matters. He did not throw that basketball that hard at that official. That was a little bit of a cheap tech. I'm sure he said something to go along with said shovel pass. And if he didn't, it was a little cheap. But yeah, I mean, you can't really double down on your technical and go over and wipe your nose on the basketball. Not a great look.
Well, and then like fake handing it to the official and then side dribbling away from him and kicking the ball around. Like, it's baby stuff. Like, it's third grade. I lost a soccer game junk. Like, don't do this.
Okay. So let's get all of the context here, because yes, what Trae Young did was super childish and was really just dumb in general. I will not give him any points for any of his actions because that was the stupidest thing that I've ever seen. I also didn't realize it only took him 19 seconds to get double teched, which I do have to respect a little bit, because if you're going to get double teched,
I mean, he went all
do
in.
it that fast.
Yeah, he went all in.
But
he's like, we're down 20. I don't feel like staying out here for the next 6 minutes.
After the game, in his media availability, he pointed out and he said, hey, you know, I did that. And when you shovel passed it, he said, I had some words for the ref. I was telling him to call the game fairly, because one of the younger guys on the team who's like just starting to come up, he was like, he's not getting any calls. He's getting a bunch of hard fouls. He's like, I expect it because I'm, you know, the one who everyone wants to go after. I am. I'm the one who has the ball and whatnot. But Trey, even then, when you make that statement, your little string of a line that you have there is so thin, because the Atlanta Hawks shot more free throws than the Orlando Magic did.
That's a good point.
And had way, way more foul calls than the Magic did in general. So
still lost by 20, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, they got boat raced.
But and it makes you start to think about other situations, like what happens when Max Crosby gets into a fight on the football field? Like, what's that going to look like?
Yeah.
How does that reflect on Eastern Michigan University?
Just don't think we've thought this through very well. Hey, if you missed that segment tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours. 1620 was brought to you by our friends at AX Plumbing. Home or residential, they do it all. Check out axpservice.com tonight, especially if you're like I used to be and had a bunch of tree branches in your piping and you need your line water jetted. Listen, it has fixed our problem permanently. We have not had a backup from our sewer since we got our line water jetted. You need to get it done by AX Plumbing tonight. Head over to axpservice.com tonight. We'll be right back with our Pavilion Sanitation Trash Takes the Night right here on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's John here for Cunningham's Pub and Grill. Have we ever steered you wrong on the After Hours Lounge? Leave Jimmy out of this. No, we haven't. Okay?
Hey.
And we are telling you that Cunningham's is the place to be for great food and drinks. You heard Derek in here earlier tonight talking about the new jalapeno popper burger. You know that thing is going to be A+ good. And they got the new parking garage at the Blackstone location. No more hassle of trying to figure out where you're going to leave the car while you go in and enjoy some great smoked wings with the great sauces that they make in-house. I mean, what could be better? All the sports on TV, great food and drinks, and an easy parking situation. My friends, you are set up for success. Stop by the Blackstone location, try the new jalapeno popper burger, and tell them After Hours sent you. It's Cunningham's Pub and Grill.
You can get a great craft beer pretty much anywhere these days. But what about the whole package, dining out, service, and atmosphere? Come to Cunningham's Pub and Grill, home of Omaha's original smoked wings, now with 2 locations. We're bringing back Sundays at our Old Mill location this fall, where you can catch all the sports while enjoying quality food and drinks. Find your flavor and follow us online for unique daily specials and fun craft beer events. Cunningham's Pub and Grill in Old Mill and now Blackstone.
The temperatures are rising outside. Don't let them rise inside. Controlled Comfort is your go-to for all things residential and commercial HVAC. Schedule an appointment today to get your AC checked out before summer gets here. Don't forget to make sure that your filter gets changed too. Head over to controlledcomfort.com and get the details on their annual maintenance plans today.
For all your home and business needs, Control Comfort is here to please. Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Life is unpredictable. With seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner, you can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today. Did you know that Bellevue University is making a major investment in its athletic programs with a new $25 million athletic center? This state-of-the-art facility will feature multiple practice and competition courts, a modern 6,800 square foot sports performance and fitness center, an advanced golf simulator, and a new lounge area for our student athletes. The athletic center will open in early 2025. Come see the future of Bruin athletics. Schedule a tour, meet with other athletes, and explore Bellevue University for yourself. Visit BUBruins.com. Are you watching the water slowly seep down the drain again? Go with a local solution. Go with Trusted. AX Plumbing is here to help. With over 20 years of serving the metro area, AX Plumbing can do it all, from residential to commercial. They can even help with the new build installation service. Head over to axpservice.com today. There's financing available to qualified buyers and military discount too. Check out axpservice.com today. AX Plumbing. They'll leave your place cleaner than they found it.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Car repair is car repair. Most places you go can change your oil or fix your brakes. The difference is the experience you'll get at Omaha Car Care. We're part of the community. We were born here, and we believe that our relationship with you should be built to last. We're going to consult you, not sell you. We're going to give you a free loaner car. We're going to treat you like a valued friend that we want to continue to see in the years to come. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
It is closing time. 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen, John Schreiner, Dan Campion with you here. Brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Book a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com. Tonight. Not to forget, it is a Wing Wednesday. What does that mean for you? If you head over to our Twitter page and retweet the Cunningham's Wings that we posted tonight and follow our show, we're going to put you into a drawing to win a $25 gift card to Cunningham's Blackstone District tonight. It is not too late. Get your retweets in now. It is time for our Papillion Sanitation Trash Takes of the Night. What we will do here is the three of us are each going to give you one hot take to round out the show. We're going to post a poll on Twitter. You'll vote for who had the best take. Whoever receives the fewest amount of votes will have the trashiest take of the night. Dan Campion, do you want to start us off?
Heck, yes, I do, because I've got a hot one tonight, and I just had to remind myself of it, and it came in my brain again. The Masters jacket is very cool. It is very prestigious. I will never talk bad about the green jacket of Augusta National Golf Course.
Okay.
But the jacket that you get for winning the RBC Canadian Open might be 100 times cooler. Ugly plaid jacket with the RBC Canadian patch on it, and you don't have to leave it at the golf course. You get to bring it home with you. Scotty Scheffler showed up for his practice round today, took his media availability wearing his one that he won last year, and he had the other one, he said, in his car. He's like, I've won this event 2 years in a row. I love the RBC, and I love this jacket.
Is it RBC or is RBCA?
RBC. It might be RBCA. Okay. I've always just said RBC. I don't know if they added a new letter.
Royal Bank of Canada, RBC.
RBC, okay. John Schreiner?
A former ghost of Husker teams past has got a new job. Ooh. Yes, that's right. Charlie Ward is the new head basketball coach at Florida A&M. And it got me thinking. Now, I know Charlie Ward had a very successful and long NBA career.
He did.
But I wish Charlie Ward would have played football. I want to see, he was /Stewart before /Stewart. He was the original, dual threat, could throw it or run it quarterback, right? He was Cordell Stewart before Cordell Stewart became a thing. So I have always just wondered, what he would have looked like in that era of the NFL, the early 90s, what he probably would have been moved to receiver more than likely because everyone was stuck on the 6'6" rocket arm quarterback. But it would have been interesting if he had chosen to play football to see what would have happened with his football career. So I just really wish we would have gotten to see Charlie Ward play some more football.
The reason that I was willing to, pun intended, trash Trey Young in the last segment is the fact that I think we have an epidemic amongst us. No, it's not the players. No, it's not pro athletes going back to their alma mater as an administrator. There is a serious problem with officiating in sports. The NBA said they made 4 errors last night in the Golden State Grizzlies game, and they were as plain as day to everybody in attendance and everybody watching at home last night, other than the people on the court officiating the game. I don't know how you fix this problem, because the reason you're in this situation in the first place is because officials have been drug over the coals and treated so poorly that this is who you're left with to officiate these games. So you better take real good roll call on who you have and take inventory of who can do this job now and do a better job at teaching them and coaching them up over the next couple of off seasons, because basketball as its whole, with load management, teams intentionally tanking, what's happening in Dallas right now, and you couple that with bad officiating on top of it, could spell the death of the NBA. I think we're dangerously close to heading down that trail, as opposed to, this is just one game where things went really bad. This has been the most, or there have been more errors noticed by the NBA this season in grading officials than any other in basketball history. That's not good, folks. And the fact that the NBA, their numbers are dwindling at an all-time high, you're at an era where Steph and LeBron and the torch is being passed and players are getting older that have been the face of the league, and the league is now represented by guys of the load management era. I think the NBA is in a really, really bad spot.
Officiating in the whole of sports is in a troublesome position, man. It's just, that's where we are.
It really surprises me that the NBA as a whole hasn't dropped off more. But I think a lot of the reason for that and the catalyst behind it is, I think hockey could be that 4th most watched sport in America. It's
soccer right now.
Hockey does not, soccer in America does a better job of promoting, here's the 2 teams, here's their stars, here's where you can watch their game, and this is how you can be a part of this sport, than the NHL does in 2025.
Whoa. I don't want to hear you say that ever again, because the NHL does a great job of promoting that, because you can watch NHL games literally anywhere now. They're basically giving their product away for free.
How many
It's
people
on
know
ESPN Plus.
And on HBO Max.
How many times have you seen a commercial for that? How many times?
A lot, actually.
Really? Where?
On ESPN.
On ESPN.
Okay, because that's the only. Okay, so you're taking an NHL market that has recently been added back to ESPN, and people are looking for it, and you're giving it to them in multiple platforms, and you're only telling about it on the platform that they moved it to. That doesn't make any sense. There's no commercials being run on any of the other networks for it. There's no commercials being run for it on streaming platforms about it.
Do you watch Hulu?
I do. So watching Hulu last night.
Do you watch Hulu with commercials?
Yes.
It's on there. Do you watch ABC ever? Maybe for a women's national championship game.
Who's the best player for the St. Louis Blues?
I don't know.
You know why you don't
St. Louis Blue?
You know why you don't know that? Because the NHL doesn't do a very good job of promoting their stars. They have their 4 major stars that they slightly promote, and their game is good. That you know who Connor McDavid is, you know who Ovechkin is, you know who the main players in the NHL are, but you don't know who the Deshaun Watson of the NHL is because they don't do a very good job. They don't do it at all. I don't want to say they do a very good job. They don't do it at all. They don't do a good job of promoting anybody else other than the guys that you already know because the way their game speaks for them. The NHL needs to do a better job of that. Hey, if you missed any of the show tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620 was brought to you by Allo Fiber. Are you dealing with a managed service provider that isn't giving you a solution to the tough questions you have? Like maybe they know who the best player for the St. Louis Blues is. They might not know that, but they know how to give you cybersecurity, give you all the TV and business needs you have for your company, give you voice solutions to go along the way as well. Check out allobusiness.com to learn more tonight and get out of the Stone Age. For Dan Campion and John Schreiner, Jimmy Allen of the St. Louis Blues, happy National Banana Day, everybody.
Peel it first.
Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Paul Davis Restoration. We all know the seasonal storms are right around the corner, and it affects your home in multiple ways. If you're dealing with home flooding or water damage caused from the inside of the house, Paul Davis can help remove the mold, help restore your home, and remove the damage and make it back to the way the room used to be before the damage even occurred. Call Paul Davis Restoration today at 402-533-0373. Work with a local reputable company like Paul Davis tonight.
Outside, don't let them rise inside. Controlled Comfort is your go-to for all things residential and commercial HVAC. Schedule an appointment today to get your AC checked out before summer gets here. Don't forget to make sure that your filter gets changed too. Head over to controlledcomfort.com and get the details on their annual maintenance plans today.
For all your home